All right, guys. So how we feeling, baby? How we feeling after our Ravens started off 0-2, ended the year 12-5, and head into the playoffs with a 35-10 trouncing absolute domination of the Cleveland Browns, despite not even playing their best football. The Ravens are now the number 3 seed in the AFC playoffs. They're guaranteed a home playoff game next week. And what happens tonight versus in this game with the Steelers and Browns, or I'm sorry, Steelers and Bengals, and then what happens tomorrow with the Chargers will determine who the Ravens play. It's either the Steelers or the Chargers. Start letting me know in the comment section below who you'd rather play. I don't really care who comes to Baltimore. They can get the smoke regardless. They can get the business regardless, man. I don't think anyone wants to play Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson right now. We're gonna have some talk about Zay Flowers, some updates. Obviously, a big injury in this game. Wide receiver one had a 1,000-yard season. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the game reaction. But hey, baby, hold on. I almost forgot, guys. But I already saw y'all popping off in the chat, so y'all are reminding me. Shout out Christian, Abdi, original fan there. Pastor Sean Ellis, Samuel, Christina, Kobek, everyone in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys coming out, supporting. But hey, man, you guys already know it's Purple Shades time. So what would we be doing here with the for the Flock family? Not pulling out the purple shades after the Ravens lock up the AFC North crown, and not once but twice in a row. Back to back, baby. Back to back AFC North champions. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Derrick Henry walked up to the camera, the dub cam, and he made sure to let everyone know that the AFC North runs through Baltimore, despite what Pittsburgh had to say, despite what the Bengals have had to say, despite what the Brown and Myles Garrett, the trash talk before the game. You know, Derrick Henry let everyone know that the AFC North runs through the bank. It runs through M&T Bank Stadiums. It runs through Baltimore. Edit World getting fiery with the purple shades. On top of that, we start exactly, Abdi. Start 0-2, finish 12-5. So in the span of those last 14 games, we only dropped 5 of them, or 3 of them. I'm sorry, because we start 0-2. So incredible way to finish the season nice and strong. The Ravens will play the Chargers or the Steelers next week in the wild card round. Derrick Henry, King Henry says, Juice 95, how about that performance? Crazy because, right, he's 6 carries for 8 yards in the first half and then absolutely explodes, man. That's why you got to keep feeding Derrick Henry because you never know when the defense is back. It's just going to break. It's like the floodgates. It's like the water pressure is on. It's just like piling up and it's piling up. And then all of a sudden the doors just, boom, open up and it's just the King Henry floodgates open. And we've seen that many times where in the first half, they bottle them up. They're fired up. We got to stop Henry. But then, as the game starts wearing on and it's getting cold and you're getting tired, Derrick Henry keeps coming like a battering ram. Just boom, boom, boom. And there he is, man, ripping off a ton of yardage, man. Derrick Henry, 20 carries, 138 yards, averaging 6.9s a pop and 2 tutties. Over 1,900 rushing yards on the season. Talk about a match made in heaven between Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Lamar Jackson goes 16-32, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, QBR of 70.6, and a pass rating of 92.8. He was safe and efficient with the ball. Didn't think he had his best game, but there was also a couple of times where the receivers let him down. Zay Flowers had a big drop. Mark Andrews had maybe 2 drops. Definitely one where he definitely should have caught it, but another one that was kind of close, iffy. That could have boosted Lamar's numbers. They could have helped Lamar out a little bit more, but regardless, man, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson combined for a total of 4 touchdowns. That's what you're going to need in the playoffs, man. If the Ravens can put up 28 plus points with the way the defense has been playing, that should be enough to win, to keep advancing in these rounds of the playoffs. But to be safe, man, if the Ravens can stay over 30 like they have been lately, they're going to be really hard to knock out of this tournament, man. This tournament is wide open in the AFC right now. I think the Super Bowl is the AFC is going to be either Buffalo, Baltimore, or Kansas City. But I got my chips on Baltimore. I like how they're playing right now. Like so complete, such complete football right now. Stuff to get better at, stuff to improve in. It wasn't perfect, but hey, I like our chances, man. All right. Never stop. I agree. Lamar was a little off. Could have had a better game. Bengals 10, Steelers 7. I got the game down here on my phone. The West Flow says, we hear my boy. Yeah, man. Let's enjoy this win and get ready for some playoff football. I'm fired up, man. All right. Let's look at, I want to share my screen with you guys and show you a couple of records that were just broken. Check it out. All right. Derrick Henry says, Flock, much love. John Harbaugh says, goes over some stats, says there's no one in the NFL like Lamar Jackson. Lamar, hold on. Check this out. Lamar Jackson on the season finished with 119.6 passer rating, which is the fourth best mark in NFL history. Look at the four guys in front of him, Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning. So Lamar Jackson's an elite passer company right now. Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning, the only two quarterbacks to ever have a higher passer rating in a season than Lamar Jackson. That's absurd. James Palmer goes ahead and says it, man. He says, you're MVP. Lamar Jackson, some more records. You guys ready? Lamar Jackson's the first player in NFL history with over 4,000 yards passing and 800 yards rushing in a single season. Think about how dominant that is. 4,000 passing yards, which most quarterbacks did not hit this season, but then adds another 900 and something rushing. So he went on the season, he's over 5,000 total yards, which is absurd. Derrick Henry, I don't know if you guys can hear the audio, but this is what I was talking about.
Just to let y'all know, AFC North, go through Baltimore. What's that?
Yeah. He said, just to let y'all know, AFC North, go through Baltimore. Peter Strager says the Ravens started the season 0-2 with a loss to the lowly Raiders at home in week 2. The D looked broken and confused. The O-line looked porous. You guys remember the offensive lines at the beginning of the year, the issues. They finish the season 12-5, the 3 seed, and as one of the hottest teams in football. Quite a job. Now the real work begins. The Ravens continually got better throughout the year on special teams. Justin Tucker started to get it together in the last few games. Defense started to play really, really good football the last 7 weeks of the season. It really turned it around. And the offense been doing its thing pretty much all season. A couple of down games. The worst one of the year was an 18-point performance against the Steelers, which was, excuse me, filled with penalties, missed penalties, and missed field goals and a bunch of other trash. So, Harbaugh said that Zay Flowers, big update on Zay Flowers here, will have an MRI tomorrow. He didn't have an update, but that Flowers has a chance to be ready to the playoffs. I don't know about you guys, but when I saw Flowers go down with that injury, I was like, no, not Flowers. Not Flowers, bro. Like wide receiver 1. The guy, I mean, that's been Lamar's guy at wide receiver. Big third downs and moments. He went to Zay. You know what I'm saying? Zay's also broken a couple of big plays, like big touchdowns for us this year. He's that explosive element. He took that one handoff, had that one nice catch, making guys miss. Can take the screens. He's the motion guy, you know, like he keeps defenses honest. And so I'm not I'm not going to say that Zay Flowers is not a big deal. It's a huge deal. I mean, it's wide receiver 1 on our football team. To not have Zay Flowers, you know, in a game in the playoffs definitely decreases your likelihood of winning it. But I tell you what, right now, it does not derail the Ravens' ability to win. You know what I'm saying? Like Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely are some dogs at the tight end positions that can catch passes. Rashad Bateman, I don't know if you guys noticed, Lamar instantly dialed in on Rashad Bateman. He said before that he sees him as a wide receiver 1, and that wasn't just talk. I mean, that showed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it showed up. Rashad Bateman, 5 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown, 8 targets. Definitely was the guy that Lamar was looking at alongside Mark Andrews, who had 4 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown. And he could have been even a bigger day for Mark, because Mark dropped one that he should have had, got ripped out the last second. And then there was another one that he almost brought in one-handed that he normally would have caught. Could have put him close to, 100 yards on the day. So Mark and Bateman can definitely carry the passing game, no joke, no doubt. Isaiah Likely, don't sleep on him as a pass catcher. And the complimentary guys that you can get with Tylan Wallace making catches, Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell getting involved in the passing game, and then Nelly, hopefully he's back from that concussion. So definitely a big loss to see Zay Flowers go down. It doesn't seem like it's a season ender. We'll see if he can go in the wild card round in just about 7 days from now. It's a huge blow if he can't go. I'm not going to sugarcoat it whatsoever. But it doesn't mean that the Ravens can't get it done, because quite frankly, if you just like handcuffed the Ravens from throwing the football whatsoever, and you just said Lamar and Henry take over this game with your legs, they could do it that way too. Like, with how dynamic they are with their run game and how talented they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Ravens can get it done in multiple ways. And it looks like they could be relying on Henry if Zay is not out there, which is not a bad thing to rely on Henry and just give him the football 25, 30 times in a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? In fact, that's kind of what I want to see, regardless of whether or not Zay's out there. But Zay out there definitely makes defenses more honest. Jackson said when he was hurt, that he was hurt when Flowers went down, said all they can do is wait and see how he's doing tomorrow. I'm definitely praying for my guy Zay that the Lord heals up that knee and that it's not a serious injury, because we need our guy Zay, man. Harbaugh said there's a chance for Zay Flowers to be back, but they'll know more later this week. There's always like the sports fantasy doctors and everything, not making light of their knowledge or anything, but sometimes you got to take their opinions with a grain of salt, because they're just kind of evaluating something off a broadcast view screen without making any physical examinations. But Tom Christ, who's a doctor of physical therapy, board certified orthopedic specialist, says that from this view, you can see his foot gets caught on his teammate's leg as the defender contacts his knee from the inside. This creates a mild varus stress, which puts stress on the LCL. However, the total various motion is minimal. His knee flexes, which absorbs some of the force, and his foot doesn't get caught long. So I would not expect a major injury, if any, to the LCL. Hopefully just some bruising from the contact. That would be best case scenario. It would be just a bone bruise, contusion of the shin, knee, whatever. And hopefully that's just a pain management type thing, and they can get that thing iced up, healed up as quick as possible and get him ready, because we need Zay. How about Derrick Henry pulling out the dance moves, the robot bro? It's funny because earlier in the year, Derrick Henry says, bro, I don't dance, man. I'm getting old. I don't do that no more. And then breaks some records. The Ravens with the second most yards per play in NFL history. He pulls out the dance moves. Lamar Jackson, Phil Yates puts out on X here, is now the first player in NFL history with 40 or more passing touchdowns and under 5 interceptions. That's crazy. I'm checking in on this Bengals-Steelers game. It looks like Burrow just got sacked. Still 10-7. 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Let me know, who are you guys rooting for in this game? Like, do you want to see the Bengals get in or not? Because I thought, low-key, I was like, bro, what if the Bengals got in to the dance, beat Buffalo, and beat Kansas City because they would be the lowest remaining seed. They'd play the number 1 seed, and then knocked out the Chiefs, who we haven't played well against, but we have played well against the Bengals. Lamar Jackson versus Joe Burrow is like 8-1 in his career. So what if the Bengals got in, helped us out by beating Kansas City, and then we beat the Bengals in the AFC Championship? Just saying. And we would host it at the bank as well. But Samuel says, I don't want to face the Steelers. I can agree with that just because of the history they've had. It felt like we wrote the wrongs the last time we played them. We got that monkey off our back, is what Lamar Jackson said, with the non-success against the Steelers. But definitely definitely not a team you want to see in the first round as a divisional rival. But I don't care who comes to Baltimore. They can get the smoke. How about Michael Pierce's interception? 355 pounds getting that pick. That was pretty cool. But crazy. Lamar Jackson, 41 passing touchdowns to 4 interceptions on the season, on the year. That's crazy. The Ravens set a new single-season records for yards per rush in the season. That's the best in NFL history. 5.76 yards per carry. Insane. Lamar Jackson's regular season stats finish: 41, 72 passing yards, 41 passing touchdowns, 915 rushing yards, over 5,000 total yards in the season, 4 rushing tutties, puts him at 45 total on the year. Insane. Second most yards per play in history. So I'm just like ripping off, record after record that the Ravens have broke. Here's another one from Ryan Mink. He says the Ravens now hit 4,000 passing yards and 3,000 rushing yards in the season. That's the first team in NFL history to have 4,000 and 3,000 to hit those marks. It's crazy, man. I think Lamar Jackson's going to get a third MVP. Remains to be seen, man. But Alex actually says, who's the MVP now? It's got to be Lamar, right? Juice says, I think this year's our best shot to win a championship, but I think this is just the start of something special. We may also have to look for a new head coach. And just saying, it's a real conversation to be had if John doesn't get into a deep playoff run, maybe another AFC championship or a Super Bowl, like run into the playoffs, where you might get to have a conversation. But I do like John Harbaugh. Is strength of schedule considered for MVP? Most of the time people look at stats and total wins, momentum, narratives, more than they do, strength of schedule. But if it was being broke down, Lamar, his DVOA and which counts for strength of schedule and everything, is way above Josh Allen's. It's not even close. All right, guys. I love y'all. I just wanted to hop in here real quick and talk a little Ravens football with you guys after this really nice win against the Browns to lock up the AFC North. It's never a small feat, never a small accomplishment to win your division, especially the AFC North, man. The AFC North is a real deal division with Joe Burrow and Mike Tomlin and Myles Garrett and those dudes. Like AFC North is just a different type of division. You gotta, buckle your chin strap tight for these AFC North matchups. I'd like to see, where did the Ravens go on the year? I think they went 4-2 in their divisional games because they lost to the Browns once, the Steelers once, and then they swept the Bengals. Should have won both of those games, by the way. So Ravens could have easily went 6-0 in the division, but they ended up 4-2. When is the next game? Looking like the Ravens are going to play on Saturday or Sunday for the NFL wild card round. Lamar for MVP, 100% agree. Thanks again. Good night. Stay warm, flock, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for all the support. Thanks to the patrons. Thanks for everyone who's liking the videos, commenting. You guys mean a lot to me. For the Flock family. Good to enjoy this win with you guys, but we got more to do. So we'll have all the content here pumping out for you guys soon. Our NFL playoff preview, updates on Zay Flowers, and much more, man. Never Stop says thanks for the surprise stream. You're welcome, brother. Always good to hop on here and talk football with y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video.